What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the backstory. I am Carlos Hardy once again. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And as always, if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do. It's your business, not mine. In the writer's room today, guys, we're going to be talking about the tumultuous relationship between Oprah and Monique, okay? So we know there's a lot of backstory there. We know Monique has had some of these, just numerous allegations, or thrown numerous allegations toward Oprah, and Oprah hasn't really said much about it. Just kind of, she tried to stay above water as far as that's concerned. So I wrote a little backstory to what I thought happened after they finally sat down. So that's going to be their conversation inside of our writer's room, and that's a little bit later. You should be probably at that point where you've written some things in your book or your story or your music, whatever it is that you're deciding to do. You should have written something by now. If you didn't, keep up because you're lagging behind. So today we're going to talk about a specific subject that I'm very, very well versed in, and it's writing partners, okay? So whenever you're writing any type of thing, whether it's literature, whether it's book, music, film, scripts, whatever, sometimes it's good to have a writing partner, and sometimes it's really bad to have a writing partner. That's just my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you why. So sometimes writing partners work really, really well. And like I can give you an example. Paul McCartney and John Lennon were two writing partners of the Beatles, and they work really, really well together to create some magical, amazing music. What's his name? Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Great. They did a lot of music for like Prince, The Time, Janet Jackson. They did a lot of great chemistry. They had a lot of great chemistry, I should say. And they did a lot of great music together because they both worked as a unit to create something that everybody would love. Now, they didn't know that they were going to be creating or have this union that could produce something so great as that's timeless music. But they somehow got together, bypassed all of the political process to create something really, really good, okay? And I think they're really, really great together, creatively. Also, you have someone like Steven Spielberg and John Williams. Now, these are different types of creators. Now, John Williams created music, and Steven Spielberg creates film. He writes his films and creates like Jurassic Park and Jaws and things like that. They worked on Superman. No, he didn't do Steven Spielberg. Didn't do Superman, did he? No, he didn't do Superman. But John Williams wrote a lot of the music for Steven Spielberg's movies, and they had to get into this creative space in order to do that. And even though he did the musical aspect of it, John Williams, and then Spielberg did the filming aspect of it, they still have to collaborate together to be able to create this vision that is now known as Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Jaws, and things like that. So they have to have this creative process. Now let's start with you. Now you may have an idea in your mind, whether it's music, whether it's scripts, whether it's, like I say, a book. And I'm gonna keep bringing that up because I want you to be able to gather your thoughts, place your thoughts, compartmentalize your thoughts, and put them to paper. Okay, that's what I want for you. So in having a writer, for me, there are two things, because I've had a writer partner with two of my books. These two, Valonians 1 and Valonians 2. Okay, so I stumbled upon a friend I knew in Los Angeles who was a music writer, and he wanted to help write these stories of this world, this fantasy world that we created. And in the beginning, it's great, it's amazing, it's wonderful, but sometimes you have to put your foot down and discipline yourself enough to make sure that the creative process isn't taking a back seat to the political or ego of yourself in that process, in the writing process. Okay, there's a pro and a con to having a writing partner. So I'm going to give you the pros first. The pros of having a writing partner, and most of you are going to have, you may have a writing partner, you may not. You may jog your mind and push your ideas onto your friends, your family, your significant other. You may, just have them run across the idea of what you're thinking to create, okay? But at the end of the day, it's going to be on you if you are an individual writer. But if you have a writing partner, one of the pros to me is being able to divide the work, okay? So that's what we did when I wrote my first book, Felonious, is my writing partner and I, we divided the work. So there were 20 chapters, and so he did 10 and I did 10. And we were able to cross-reference our writing and be able to create something really, really magical in this fantasy world. So that is a good thing to have, this synergy where you both are sharing these ideas and creating. And of course, the Bible says when 2 or 3 are gathered, you know the rest. So that's pretty much the idea. When you have a writing partner, all these ideas come and all this energy comes, and like your mind is uninhibited by things that is going to stifle the writing. There's character development, and there's titles, and there's language that you use. There's all types of things that help you to create that story. But if it's 2 people as opposed to 1 person, 2 heads are better than 1 sometimes. If one day you may not come up with something, you can always run it across your writing partner, and that'll get his or her brain going, and they can shoot it back to you, and you're able to write something. So a great pro is to divide the work and then share ideas. Remember, as I stated in one of my previous videos, that some people have writer's block. Like I said, I don't believe in it. But if you have a writing partner, that person can help you to push the story forward, to help you develop characters. Like another example is when we were writing Felonious, the book, the partner I had, he would create something that's totally different than what I'm thinking, and then he'll send me the chapter, and I'll read his chapter, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing, and I'm able to piggyback off of that. So it's like having this other source of creative energy going that just gets thrown in your direction, and you're able to take it, and you're able to mold it and make it exactly what it is you want to make it to. So that's very, very, very important. And like I said, it's fun, and you both get credit. You do it together. Everything in it involves you and the other person. So I think ideally it's a good pro, sharing ideas and dividing the work. The con. There's always cons to everything. We all know that. So for me, the con is pacing. Okay? So, and what I mean by that is, one writer usually is always quicker. I would say, when I say quicker, I mean their ideas may flow a little more rapidly than the other, or they may be moving at a faster pace creatively. And when that's happening, sometimes that can kind of halt the creative process, and you don't want to hold that process. So if you're writing with your husband, you're writing with your wife, your friend, your friend from college, you want to make sure you guys are in sync. Trust me, if you're not in sync, it's not going to work, because you're going to write 1 chapter for the whole year and look like a complete disaster. And you don't want to do that. You want to be able to write consistently, because that's the whole goal of any type of writing. Even when you're doing music, you want to be able to do music seamlessly. You want to be able to get into the studio, go in there, he or she has an idea, you have an idea, y'all bring it together, y'all collaborate, and it comes out, and it's an amazing song or amazing story or whatever it is you're going for. So definitely the con would be pacing. Someone is always moving faster than the other. As you can see, if you look at, there's millions of examples out there. If you look from Facebook, the owner of Facebook, you look at someone like Michael Jackson with the Jackson 5, you look at Beyonce with Destiny's Child, somebody is always moving you faster, or their creative stream is always moving faster, and the other ones are either going to be dragged to try to keep up, because you don't want to get dragged. Because some of y'all gonna get dragged. Let's just keep that real. And you don't want to be dragged. You want to be able to stand your ground. You want to be able to stand up on your own 2 feet and help out in the process of creating whatever it is you're creating. So having a writing partner, like I said, it could be a con and it could be a pro to it, but it's going to be up to you to be able to differentiate that process, you guys' process. If you're deciding to write with someone, you may just say, you know what, I'm Carlos, I'm just gonna do the books by myself, I'm gonna do the music by myself, I'm gonna do whatever it is, I'm gonna do it by myself, the writing. And that's fine as well. But like I said, there's ownership, there is accountability when you're doing it with yourself, okay? So with a partner, again, you can easily fall back into, okay, well, he or she will do this part and I'll just do this part. And the gaps your partner will fill in. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's really bad. And I had to learn the hard way that I didn't care for gaps. I like my stuff beginning, middle, and end to every process that I do. And if you don't have a beginning, middle, and end to every process, like I said before, it's a wrap. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you are going to choose a writing partner, you make sure you guys are in sync with your ideas, you're in sync with your creativity, you're in sync with your discipline. Because if you don't have those three, it's going to be a uphill battle, and you don't want to have that. Writing is supposed to be something that's fun, creative, uninhibited. You have no handcuffs. You're supposed to be just go at it and not think about any kind of consequence. And you don't want that. And once you're thinking about consequence, you're going to have a hard time, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so that's that. So that's the pro and that's the con. But like I say, whatever you decide to do, it's your business. And however you decide to create what it is you're creating, it's still your business. Make it happen, get it done, and keep it moving. It's really that simple. Okay, so let's get ready to go into our writer's room. We're talking about the Oprah and the Monique situation. Remember, Monique had alleged that Oprah had blackballed her, or helped her get blackballed in the industry, and she talked about this for the last, I would say, about 3 to 4, maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe something like that. And rightfully so. If she feel like she have this grievance to air, hey, it's on her to say whatever she want to say. I mean, that's her thing. Oprah hasn't mentioned it. Well, she's mentioned things. She said something about she didn't want to meet negativity with negativity, which I understand that as well. So, you know me, trying to write some stuff, I ended up writing something that was a little interesting. I hope you guys like it. And this is what happens when Monique finally arrives at Oprah's house. Take a look. A cluster of clouds reign over a particularly clammy day in the middle of fall. The swirls of puffy white gloom floats above a spacious estate. The sprawling manor is fit for a king, but only to be inhabited by a talk show queen. The surrounding pastures are neatly manicured to completion, each flower blooming with triumph, knowing its purpose is merely for beauty and nothing else. A SUV with tinted windows glides up the rustic red brick path, pausing in the center of the U-shaped driveway. Fresh potted plants flank 2 French wood doors leading to the estate. The car door creeps open. A woman in her early 50s exit. It's comedian and actress Monique. Her oversized yellow-brimmed hat shields the rays of sun peeking through the clouds. Her velvety caramel skin is unblemished, and her smile radiates with care. Monique's colorful dress tugs at her voluptuous physique. She revels pleasingly. She worships her shapely figure through the car's reflection. She throws her bag around her forearm and pushes the door closed. Monique curiously takes a moment, admiring the exquisite grounds of the estate. Her gentle whisper is drowned out by the front doors crawl open. Well, Lady O does have taste. A short black-haired Asian woman lingers in the foyer. The stained apron around her waist indicates she's a part of the cleaning staff. The housekeeper leads with a closed-mouthed smile, never looking Monique in the eye. Monique's heart is racing a million miles a minute. She breaks out in a cold sweat. Gingerly, the housekeeper ushers her inside. Monique, it's great to meet you. We have been expecting you. Monique's eyebrow curls with surprise. Her usual defensive nature has plagued her for years, and today won't be an exception. Her thick, raspy voice reminds you of her grandmother in the South. Are you sure y'all been inspecting me? Monique liberates a nervous snort, hoping to ease her own suffering. This way, says the housekeeper, leading the actress to the library. A collection of books encase the spear-shaped room. Some are scattered on the tables, while others rest in piles on the floor. Monique sits at a small table underneath a stunning chandelier, her eyes trying desperately not to acknowledge its unorthodox shape and structure. She drifts into a rehearsed explanation about what she'll say upon reuniting with Oprah. Specks of sunshine spills through a nearby window, calming her jitters. Thank you, God, but I got this. The door creeps open. It's Oprah. She waltzes inside unbothered, cradling 2 clinking glasses of wine. Her freshly crinkled mane spills into her face, overtaking her lackluster of a greeting. The talk show titan sits, placing the 2 glasses on the small table. Monique itches at the chance to take a swig of the plum wine. It's her favorite, but she keeps her discipline. Never acknowledging Monique, Oprah crosses her legs and waits. The tension between the ladies is unsettling, with neither willing to compromise. Oprah's the first to break. Okay, I'll start, lifting her glass to her lips. What did I do to you, Monique? Monique's rant is laced with disdain. She shrugs, turning an accusing gaze at Oprah. You've got to be kidding me, Miss Winfrey. Oprah leans forward as if she's back in 1995 on her talk show, her voice subtle yet stern. Let's keep this informal. Call me Oprah. Girl, you lucky that's all I'm calling you. You single-handedly ruined my career. Oprah leans forward, pretending to care. Monique tears from her chair. Adrenaline lugs her to the door. She pauses, knowing that running away means that Oprah would get the best of her. She doubles back. Oprah is now standing with both hands clamped to her hips. Monique's temper settles, sorrow seeping deeply into her words. Just tell me why, Oprah. Why, sugar? Oprah inhales, tears trailing through her bronze foundation and dripping to the floor. I don't know. I just didn't think. Monique cuts through Oprah's explanation with vengeance, like a beautiful tornado destroying anything in its path. That's the problem, Miss Winfrey. You have so many around you telling you yes. It's a challenge to contemplate the word no. Oprah tries to keep her arms to her side, but they have a mind of their own and sporadically flail from side to side. I never knew I hurt you, Monique. Sugar, I've been on damn near every show talking about this. I know. I'm sorry. Monique's eyes dart from side to side in an effort to process the underwhelming apology. She's not letting up. Fighting more will make her feel better. Oprah, you did me wrong. Monique's voice painfully trembles, forcing Oprah a few steps back. And for that, I am sorry, Monique. I promise you, oh my girls, I didn't mean it. Bitch, you meant it, and I'll never let you forget it. Both women reluctantly takes steps towards the other. Oprah's arms suddenly fling open. I'm sorry. I'll give you a show on the network. Monique's arms fold defiantly against her chest. She's called resentment her friend for years, and now it wants to sever ties with her. Monique's head tilts to the sky, her shoulders strain against her dress. She has one final thing to say. Oprah, we are back. I know it's kind of, well, it really wasn't, I don't think it was that intense, but when I'm creating these stories, I'm trying to get inside the character's mind, what they would think, what they would say, what they won't say, all that good stuff. And I it was just something I imagined. I really want them to meet Oprah and Monique and kind of settle this and just kind of have a conversation. And because I think it'll be beneficial to both. And I'm talking about internally spiritual. I'm not talking about in a publicity way, a public way. I'm talking about in an internal way, because I know they're both carrying something about that. And if they can have the opportunity to sit down and discuss what it is with no cameras, with no one around, no family, no wife, no husband, whatever, and just have that conversation, I just believe they both will benefit greatly from it. So that was the Monique and Oprah situation. Okay, there's more to come. I have more steps and stories for you. some amazing ones that are to come. Lots of different shows, lots of different things that have happened over social media, and also things that are happening in the world that I definitely want to talk about and write, and I've written stories about. So I can't wait for you to listen to those. Okay, remember, I'm not an actor, I'm just a writer, and I just wanted to get these stories out and just hopefully inspire you to pursue your writing, pursue your business, pursue your scripts, pursue whatever it is that your heart's desire, your dream, or whatever it is you can do. Remember, you are the writer of your story, no one else, and it's up to you to write that story. That's why it's called What's the Backstory? Because we all have a backstory. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Remember, subscribe if you want. You can what you can do. What else can they do? You can like, you can send it, you can share it. Whatever you want to do with the video is great. I appreciate you, but I always say that don't be a dream killer, because if you don't know one, that means you are one. That's just how it goes. There's no way of getting around that. Until next time, this is What's the Backstory. I'm Carlos Hardy. See you later.
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.